HealingYourself.Life provides information for awareness, educational, and support purposes only and does not diagnose or prescribe treatment for any medical condition. Viewers are encouraged to do their own due diligence and consult with their own medical caregivers before making personal treatment decisions.
If everyone in the world adopted a family through some good small mission organization and decided that they were going to do enough to support them, we could solve all the poverty in the world, and it costs none of us more than 5% of our income. We really do have an income distribution problem, but what we really have is an opportunity distribution problem. And what I do is I redistribute opportunity. I go create opportunity by creating work. I have 115 employees in Haiti now, and that's what you need. People don't want to hand out. You know, they want work.
As a responsible person with growing concerns for your privacy and personal liberty, you want to know where we're headed and what you can do about it. We ask the experts what you need to do to take prudent and responsible action to safeguard your family's wealth and well-being, and what basic first steps will help you to be aware and prepared. ReluctantPreppers.com.
For a lot of our listeners, they've just had an inner intuitive sense that things are changing in the world around them and that they cannot continue to just rely on the powers that be and the systems that they have in the past relied on to take care of their best interest and the wellness of their families. So that's what drew me to you, because your approach to wellness and well-being seems to put a lot of emphasis on the responsibility of the individual. What's different about the time that we're currently living in, and why is that important for people to take responsibility for their own health now?
Well, I think two factors. We're definitely arriving at a point where this planet is completely overcrowded and moving around too fast. That's what Ebola is about. That's what these viruses are about. We're now carrying things around the world and they're traveling quickly. And so first of all, we all need to be concerned that we're going to see epidemics that are much more severe. We're all concerned about Ebola now, and we should be. But the problem you run into is that people look up at preparedness and they go, it's just too much to take on. It's just a big challenge. And I tell people myself, I go, don't look at it like that. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, okay? You want to sit down and decide what's my highest priorities and spend a weekend and work on that. You know, get your water. You know, go out to Gordon Foods and get some storable food and think about the things that we talk about today, and decide what some basic medicines are that you need to manage an emergency. And congratulate yourself on having gotten that far. And then you really need to, and we can hopefully work on this, is keep coming up with deeper and deeper penetration into what is real preparation. Everybody's a little unprepared to do this. My wife, 5 years ago, she's a Pollyanna, and everything's going to be okay. And the last year's been hard for her because I've been saying this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and it's all happened. And it's frightened her. And she's now really starting to appreciate what we have in Haiti other than just the mission. She's starting to appreciate the fact that I have done preparation for things, and now she's starting to shop. She's starting to look up and see things as a woman that I don't see as a man. And I go, oh, that's a good thing. She came home the other day and said, look at that, there's a package of 100 sewing needles. I got it for $1. Oh, one day I can barter sewing needles very easily, right? And she's starting to see that concept of collect barterable items. You know, everybody's out there getting handguns and ammo. I'm more like Paul McCartney. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm not going down the stream of bullets. I'm a gladiator, you know. But I do believe that we're going to run into times when the trucking system's going to break down for a while because things happened in our society, be it natural disasters, riots, or disruptions. And I'm going to have sewing needles and you got a hole in your shirt, but you've got this and I need that, and we've got to create a community. And my wife is starting to appreciate that community, and I think we're starting to see a lot of people who are starting to feel it now.
And any other domestic sources, resources that people should look to for supplies that have you think are excellent sources of supplies for off-grid living?
Absolutely. Everyone should know about Layman's Hardware in Kidron. The Amish have been living off the grid from the beginning, okay? They are doing exactly what we will all learn to do, living in a community and being self-supportive. Go up on the web and just type in Layman's, Lehman''S hardware, and I want one of everything in the catalog. It is simply the most amazing thing in the world. They will send you a catalog, but the web is even more thorough, and they have so many neat things. But things that you need: kerosene lamps, soap making, candle making. You know, how far do you want to go down that path? How do the Amish live? We'll get there someday.
And in addition to that, you're also unconventional. I wouldn't say unconventional. You're actually getting back to a lot of common sense in terms of how people can participate in their own wellness.
I'm what we call an integrative physician. I'm not an alternative physician. Some people call it complementary, but I like the term integrative physician. An integrative physician is someone who doesn't bring an agenda. You know, traditional physicians hate herbal therapy. They they just won't do it. They hate vitamins, and boy, they're going to do drugs. Well, as I always tell people when I was working with Terry Chappell, don't ever go to Terry with a ruptured appendix, because he's going to give you an herb. Okay? Alternative medicine is the same way. They're at war with the pharmaceutical industry, and they'll give you the wrong drug because it's pharmaceutical. Good medicine is, look, I got all these tools. What's the best tool? And when I get a choice, pick the safest one, start low. As Andy Weil, the famous alternative medicine doc, said, he said, if I've got gallstones, I'm going to go ahead and take Colacol and taurine and try and dissolve them. But he said, if I get hit by a cement truck, don't call my homeopath.
Right.
Take me to an ER.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's kind of where medicine's landed. And you're watching this new generation of primary care docs until the HMOs ruined it all. We're getting much more integrative. These guys were much more open-minded. And so the real concept is that there are two things that distinguish me. One, I don't see 7 people an hour. As you know, I spend an hour with new patients and 30 minutes in all follow-up. You can't do medicine in 4 minutes. You can't do medicine and spend all of your time pecking on an iPad doing documentation and get paid. I document only the things I need to know to do my next visit. They're just prompts to me to follow a train of thought, so I have a treatment plan and maintain adequate records. It's really the clarity of the process and recognizing that you've got to slow down, be comprehensive, and use all your tools. That's what makes me a different physician than everybody else. It really isn't a politic. Yeah.
And you also carry that, though, into spheres of influence that most doctors don't. They stay in the clinical setting. You take that out into the world where people are hurting the most. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, of course, I didn't see myself as ever being a missionary. I went with my church to Trinidad 15 years ago, and little did I know, I've been in Haiti 3 times in the current 8 weeks. And of course, that takes us all the way down to, safely home and that whole project. But if everyone in the world adopted a family through some good small mission organization and decided that they were going to do enough to support them, we could solve all the poverty in the world, and it costs none of us more than 5% of our income. We solve all this stuff. We really do have an income distribution problem, but what we really have is an opportunity distribution problem. And what I do is I redistribute opportunity. I go create opportunity by creating work. I have 115 employees in Haiti now, and that's what you need. People don't want to hand out. They want work. The men and women I work with want a job.
That's right.
And they are thrilled, and they'll work harder than anybody you ever saw. And we see that. We see that when people come from the third world. They'll take any job, and they'll do it well because they just want a chance. And, we're pretty spoiled.
Well, in that setting, you get lots of opportunity to practice what's effective and cost-effective in a setting where there's not a lot of infrastructure support.
Yeah, come down with me sometime. You can do anything you want. You can act as a doctor. The government really doesn't care that much. What they care is that I'm there supervising. What they care is that there's a global watch on the system. But if it moves the system forward, You know, we have a optical technician running an entire optical program and putting glasses on people and doing a great job. He would never be allowed to work here.
And that whole spirit of partnering and community and helping each other and relying on each other, strengthening, rather than people having a bunker mentality where they just focus on just isolation and survival of just their own family. Here, it sounds like your part of your message is that you actually do a better job of the survivability of yourself and your family by partnering, by being part of the network.
The widest platform you can throw out. Absolutely. You know, my wife always says that she would never go to Haiti without a doctor. And I always go, I do it every time I go. If I get sick, I'm in trouble, you know, because I'm frequently the only physician on the team. My viewpoint is quite different. I would never go to Haiti without Bruce. He's my building contractor. And to hand Jay a hammer and power tools and say, let's let Jay design something. Yeah, can I do it? Sure I can. Is it the best job? No. Leave it to Bruce. I'll help him. Okay? And so every time that I add, you know, a hydraulic engineer now joined my team and completely fixed my water distribution and storage system for me. And now we're taking in an agronomist who does permaculture, and he's going to show up and he's going to redesign the tilapia plans for me. And, you know, the key is to continue to find people who want to move the project down the road, want to have someplace safe to go, and bring a skill set. But people say, well, I don't have anything to do when I go to Haiti. And I go, then you can work in pharmacy. Anybody can count pills. Anybody can teach. Anyone, we need to, you know, if you're in that environment, we're going to need to be able to run an English-speaking school, you know. And so we're going to need to be able to have people who can walk in and teach math and teach English and teach science. And if you're the best science person in our group that isn't occupied doing something else, then you're going to teach science, you know, and that's how it's going to work. So there's always a place to put people who say, I don't have a skill. I go get studying because I have something you need to learn so you can teach me. We're going to need to solve this community concept. We need this. We've always needed this because we used to have it. It's a whole bunch of people living in a cave. We're going back to that, right? Look at how those people lived. You had a leader, you had a medicine man, okay? You had people who were good at hunting, you had people who were good at foraging, and they figured that out and they assigned jobs according to that, you know? And we need to return to that. We need to become smaller communities that aren't picking up our milk at United Dairy Farmers. Of course, first we have to get to the point where it isn't illegal to bring raw milk across state lines.
Right.
You know, etc. All of that. And of course, that takes us into politics, and I don't do politics.
So, Dr. Nielsen, you've talked to us about a lot of steps that individual family members can take to prepare for medical necessities. Can you tell us a little bit more about your program in Haiti and how people can find out more about that if they want to, the Safely Home, what that consists of, what your vision is for that?
Well, my vision is I would like to put together 20 to 30, maybe even more, but currently I am built for 20 to 30 families. I am looking for Christian families that would be interested in continuing my mission work and working in my community while having a safe place to go if things fall apart. Now, we need to plan ahead here. You want to really go in with American Airlines, okay? American Airlines isn't going to fly forever, okay? Do I have ways to get there if things fall apart? Yeah. I don't like them as much. I want to go in legally. I want to go in above board with using my passport. Once I get there, I want to be able to provide water, food, safety, temperature control, security, community relationships, education, productivity, and hobbies, and stay connected to the world. I got radar dish. I got 5 ham radios. Okay, and so I want to be able to create as much of a ongoing life that we expect, and not isolation while being at the end of the earth. And a lot of people go, why Haiti? And I go, no one's ever going to come there and bother me. No one cares about Haiti. There's nothing to exploit. It's all exploited out. There's nothing to steal. There's no armies will ever come and say, boy, we want your sugar cane. It's not going to happen. I am in the safest place on earth. The people are wonderful. Okay? And I'm surrounded by 2,000 friends. Okay? And so in return for a one-time $40,000 tax-deductible donation, okay, a family ends up with a place to go. And I would encourage every one of those people who donate for someone in the family to come to me one time on a trip, because what if I don't make it? You want to be able to walk into that community and have the Haitians know you, or maybe they won't let you into your own compound. Okay. And so, if there's anyone that's particularly interested in that, they can send me an email at j@wellnessrx.org. That's jay@wellnessrx, wellnessrx.org. And I'll interview them. Not everyone will be applicable. I am looking for Christians who match my mission. And I might make exceptions to that on the basis of how I found their personality and their issues and what skills they brought. Okay, but otherwise, I don't care what skills they bring as long as they know how to live in a community.
Thank you, Dr. Jane Nielsen, for being with us and sharing your expertise, your experience, your wisdom on how people can improve their family's well-being in off-grid or emergency situations. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.